folks. Welcome to Cooking with Dan Leslie. My name is Janet Rapasardi Hoff. I will be your host this evening in Dan's Kitchen with Dan.
Hey gang,
Hi,
how
Dan.
we doing?
How are you?
Good, what's going on?
Oh, nothing much, nothing much. Just kind of gearing up for the holidays. How about you?
Getting ready for Halloween, right?
oh,
So, what's cooking here?
nothing much. I was going to say I was so glad. I sensed this aroma as I was walking into the kitchen. I was so glad that you did these because you know they're one of my favorites. Caramelized onions.
Right, you can hear that noise there, right?
I hear that little sizzle.
All right, we're going to work them off the bottom. These are how they started, a pile of onions in the pan there, and I got a little of this cheaper oil in the bottom to help it along just a little bit. I didn't have them on too high a flame, but we gradually reduced the flame, and I want to say these onions are on about an hour right now.
Okay.
So what we do is then they just start working themselves to the bottom of the pan. And now they're starting to lose more and more of their moisture. They're getting darker and darker. So I have to stir them a little more frequently. And I'm just working this stuff off the bottom. They're caramelizing to the bottom. And right now they probably have the consistency and taste of, let's say, sauteed onions. Very sauteed onions. But it's going to be after about an hour and a half or so that they're going to really settle and get to the bottom, and all of a sudden they give up whatever sugar they have, and they are where we want to have them. And I guess what we have over here, we're going to make a little pizza with them, our caramelized onions. They're just very dark. You saw they were light brown there. They don't taste burned at all. They have just a sweetness to them. It's just it turns it into a different animal. Thank goodness for these plastic containers. I don't know what I'd do without them. All right, so I guess we'll stir this a couple more times while we're on the show. And I was going to make a little pizza with the caramelized onions and some roasted peppers and a few shrimp. What do you think? Shrimp and pizza.
Pizza.
We tried bacon one time. Yeah, we'll try it.
Right.
We'll try a little shrimperoo. We got a little pizza shell here.
I have a feeling you've done this one or two times before, right?
Once or twice.
Once or
twice. We just use our marinara sauce and puree it, and then we season it. And we come up with a little pizza sauce. We don't have to thicken it. It just seems to get that way by itself. We'll put it in a little blender and get it nice and smooth. I don't like a chunky pizza sauce.
Okay.
I was going to say something about people that are chunky eating the pizza, but I couldn't come up with anything there. That's nothing off the top of my head.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Would have been a real stretch.
Well, if you eat enough of these.
Yes. Yes, yes. A dozen of these will do the trick.
We've only got one in this kitchen here, but we've got 3 people who are going to fight for it, probably,
yes.
right?
Got a little mozzarella cheese we're going to put on. I could have done this with a little ricotta topping. Don't want to skimp on the cheese here, do we?
Oh, no.
A little shrimp on the pizza. What do you think a place would have to charge for that, huh? Here's your $20 pizza, sir. Right? I'm thinking about that.
There, Dan.
Yes.
Dangerous.
How do I do? Do I put the shrimp on first, or I'll try the shrimp first. See how that goes. I don't want to put the shrimp on whole. You know, all of a sudden you're going to take that slice of pizza and the shrimp's going to fall off and hit you in the chin. So I think I want to get this a little more bite size. We'll see how it looks when it comes out. Try 3 shrimp. 2 could probably do it, but we'll give it 3. I guess I'll cut these. I'm going to cut them into thirds then, so it's 6 pieces per shrimp. Try that. I was going to do a little Caesar salad there. You know, I'm just in the mood for this sort of thing, I guess. It's baseball season, and the damn Yankees keep winning. Tell you what.
Oh, no.
I'm rooting against. I root for all the New York teams.
Really?
I root for all New York teams generally, all right? You know, I don't root for the Saskatchewan Rough Riders for whatever reason. And, you know, a lot of people root for teams that aren't local. But normally I do, but in this Yankee case, number one, they cost me a ton of cash because business is slow. I was praying the Minnesota Twins knocked them out early.
Oh, no.
I know, I know. And number two, you know, I just don't see it being that level of playing field, you know. I get all these, I don't even want to get into it. These fans, I'll put these roasted peppers on second. But it's not a very level playing field, wouldn't you say? I mean, I think the Kansas City Royals team the entire squad makes about the same money as two of the Yankee players, you know. So it's very tough to root against some of these teams, you know. It's just not a very level playing field.
Well, they do make a ghastly amount of money.
I know, although a lot of them do, but just the Yankees are so, I just have trouble, you know, really jumping in there and going rah rah yay team, you know. It's just tough to do. We'll make a couple little skinny slices and see where we put them on the pizza. But you know, I mean, like I said, I like rooting for New York stuff. It just doesn't seem. I go in college. I like pro football, college basketball. You know.
Oh, I love college basketball.
Yeah, you got action there.
Yeah.
Even though half of those guys are probably getting paid, but and we don't know about it. It just seems like it's a little more wide open and not with people running around out there making it look good till they get to the playoffs. All right, we'll put a few of these on here. And what else am I putting on? The caramelized onions.
Oh, yeah. How
All right.
could we forget about those?
Right. Sugar sweet onions.
Absolutely. I could just eat those with a fork. Those
Oh,
are
you can.
so good.
You can.
Nobody
You
makes
probably will as soon as the camera
no one
comes off.
makes them like you, Dan.
Well, we try hard,
I know you do.
but they do take us a long time to do. Long time to do, start to finish. You know, you don't want to dominate with them. The shrimp, we want the shrimp to show up. So, and I can also, if I feel like we don't have enough of these later on, I can always add them, you know, to the top of the pizza. In fact, maybe I should have done that. Added the onions later on. We'll find out when it comes out. I'm gonna put them in my little oven over here. And you'll remind me about that pizza, please. I'll blame you if it's overdone or something like that.
It won't be my fault.
Right, I don't like taking the blame for too many things. It's always somebody else, never me. My wife just loves that trait about me. Just really, just makes her day.
I am sure.
Who did this? Who did that? Certainly not Dan. All right, the pizza's in the oven. We got the onions going.
Okay.
I got to be on the golf tee by 12 o'clock. So let's keep the camera rolling. Keep the. It's like that blowout football game. You want to almost go down to the ref if somebody's losing 40-0. Just tell them to keep the clock rolling. Keep it rolling, honey. No timeouts. All right, so we're going to do something that you might want to do at home.
Okay.
We're going to do some blackened chicken. You can grill the chicken. We're going to put it on a Caesar salad.
A Caesar
salad there, and you can put that stuff on any salad you want. You can use steak, chicken, fish, nothing, just have the salad. But we're looking to make a little quick dinner at home and get a little balance in the meal and have some fun doing it. We're going to serve this. One of our viewers wanted me to go over this linguine marinara deal
Okay.
again, so we're going to do that. We had another dish that we did in the last few months that we had a couple of requests for, if we can get to it. But what I want to do first, what you want to have, I guess, is all your ingredients ready. Whether you made your own marinara sauce and had it in the freezer and took it out the day before and put it in a pot, you want to have the sauce hot and in a pot. Hot and in a pot. Get
No,
some
hot and in a pot.
hot and in a pot. You want to get real great grade pasta. I have a linguine, just partial to linguine. A large saute pan. Notice there's no water on the line. We're not going to dip it into water. We par cooked it nice and yellow. We didn't refrigerate that. We left it out on the counter. Again, we want to minimize cleaning up, you know, under the while you want to enjoy your meal. You want to feel like it's cleaned up most of the way before you do it. So this is all we'd be sitting there with before we were going to have our meal. So I guess we make our own blackening mix here at Luzzie's Fun City, Luzzie's Juvenile Prison, and it's very, very spicy. You can buy these mixes in a grocery store. We are using chicken today. Chicken breasts. You want to trim them down, take some of the fat off them. Even with this, I think I want to flatten these out just a little bit more. All right, I've got this cast iron skillet, incredibly hot. You don't want to just flip it on and get it pretty hot. Have that thing on for a while. I don't know if you don't want the fire department coming, but almost to the point that you're going to put your smoke alarm on. So we're going to cook that up. Now, what I'm going to do first, now, well, you want to do this in a certain order. I like it where you take the chicken out or fish or whatever you did. And when you're going to mix it with a salad, I like it to cool off a little bit. Not put it in the fridge, but, cool off a little bit. Lose a little bit of that heat so it's more of a blend when you're put it in between your cheek and gum. Plus, it won't melt the salad. I've got some romaine lettuce here, some Caesar dressing. You can make your own, or you can have it store-bought. We make our own, of course. I have some homemade croutons. We're cooking up the chicken. The pasta's cooked off. The sauce is ready to go. So, how are we going to do this?
Oh, well, you're the chef guy.
Oh, that's right.
You need to know this.
I've got to figure this out.
You're...
Well, what I want to do is cook
your own question.
Right, exactly. What I want to do is cook off the chicken and let the chicken hang out.
Okay.
So from there, I want to make the pasta, set the pasta down, and then toss the salad. But then again, I could have the salad ready.
You want to have the
We'll
salad
figure it
ready?
out.
Maybe we should have the salad ready. What do you think?
Yeah. We'll make the salad first and
Let's
do
do
the
that.
pasta last, because the
Okey-doke.
pasta, we want at least something hot, right?
Right.
I think we're about there on the chicken. So that'll work out nicely. I hope the chicken is done. Let me see. It'll be done by the time we cook it, I guess. I'm going to take a real nice olive oil. I'm going to take some of our red sauce here. That's the noise you need, okay? That is the noise you need. Now you got to be careful. You want one of those screens, or else this is going to splatter all over your stovetop. You don't want to make too big a mess. But I'm going to put this lid on there. Before I put the pasta in, I want to get this temperature, up to a certain point without totally ruining the sauce and that sort of thing. There, it's starting to stick. The temperature's getting there. You want it really hot.
Okay.
Get this pasta over here, or this pasta. Like that kid, the naked chef guy he is beautiful. I love this guy. He made us lobster salad on TV last week. I'm telling you, I wanted to dive right through the TV screen. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, he had like some basil mayonnaise and bacon he put on it and tomato. Oh, these guys are beautiful. All right, now I'm going to take some of this pasta and I'm going to put it into the pan like that. So I didn't put too much. I have that olive oil in there. That's a great flavor. All right, just going to cover the bottom of the pan a little bit. This was a pound of pasta here, so I guess I've got like 2/3 of a pound in here. Now I'm going to let that temperature get up again. We've knocked it down. We put something cold in. I'll just have this cheese ready to go. You can put Romano or a combination Romano and Parmesan, which is what we have right here. I feel like the Romano is very, very sharp. If you like it, that's what you put on. So when that temperature comes back up, we want to finish this 1, 2, 3. The main thing is that I have my extra pan of hot marinara sauce that we're going to put on the top of this. If you're doing this for just a couple of people, you can set a couple plates out and make the plates right there, same as the Caesar salad. You can just put it doesn't have to continually be an affair of pass this or pass that. You can just, if it's a few people, you're better off sometimes just making the plates there, just as long as I get the big pork chop, All right, we're about there, I think. So hopefully when I go to stir this, the noise level is going to be up a little bit, which it is, okay? We're just going to swish this around, get the olive oil with the sauce. If it's looking a little dry, which this is almost, I can add a little more hot sauce to it. You don't want to put it on a plate, put the sauce over the top, and, to get at it, it's going to be like, breaking into a pile of sticky stuff. And that's all we have. It's done right there, okay? So I guess I can make a couple of little plates. So this is just going to be a side dish to have with our Caesar salad, our blackened Caesar salad. So that's all you do. You got dinner for two. Well, I put a big bowl out there. Leave a little more in the pan here. Start small, go back for seconds, or have it for breakfast.
Oh, I like that idea.
Or you can have it right after you get out of the torture chamber. A little snack, you know what I mean, to get re-energized. All right.
would that be you, Dan?
Yes, this is, I thought you were the one administering the corporal punishment.
Well, you're the one in the chamber.
Yeah, that's true, right.
I'll let you out
Every now and then, right. And then, you know, you serve a little cheese on the plate, or, you know, if you want a little more, you always taste it first, of course. You know, I don't like to see people grabbing salt and pepper shakers without tasting the food first, but a lot of people do that. So we're going to a little parsley, and then we've got that set. We've got our two little pasta dishes. We'll get to that Caesar salad in a minute.
Finished these lovely side dishes. These are
Yeah.
great. You know what? I didn't forget.
Oof.
Pan pizza.
Hope I didn't burn it. You're gonna be in trouble. I'll be the one wearing the. You'll be the. I'll be the one administering the punishment. All right. Here's our pizza.
Is it perfect?
Well, I would say it's in the good zone. It's in the very good zone. There it is.
Looks good. It looks good.
Bubbling along there.
It does.
Let's see how our shrimp are doing. They don't seem overdone.
No, not at all.
No, I tell you, I think this is going to be a great taste. I should have slipped a little hot pepper in there maybe to
Ooh.
make that happen. All right, well, we won't cut it here on camera. We'll do that later, okay? When you guys are noshing on this, I'll just set it on the plate.
That looks great.
Like so, and we'll put a little parsley on it maybe. What would our show be without parsley, right?
I don't know.
Maybe put a little twinker in the middle, a little Twinkie piece, and there we are. There's our pizza with caramelized onions, roasted peppers, and shrimp. Yeah,
I'm looking at this romaine. Looks nice and fresh.
Yeah, we got nice romaine, and it's very dry, but it's once again it's washed. You know, we don't want to have that water. This water gets us in trouble. You see what that? If I took that pasta and dipped that in the water here, you know, if I shook most of it off, but it's just going to compromise the dish. Remember, there was no water here when we finished this dish. That's really important. And again, don't try and doing this for 8 people, right? You saw in the large pan we had about 1/2 to 2/3 of a pound of linguine, nice linguine. All right, but we do try to favor using the greens. Okay, cost me a little more to do, but I like to, you know, the whites. I don't know. I just like a nice green Caesar salad.
Well, that's where the vitamins come from. You know, the really leafy green parts.
That's where you get your energy from.
Throw those vitamins in there.
Put in like that piece there, and a couple more we'll put in here, and we'll see what's going to happen. Well, first we want to get our chicken in position, and again, I'm glad we lost a little temperature on the chicken, because now I feel like it's very warm, and it's going to go better with the salad than if it was piping hot.
Yeah, so we waited a little while for that.
Right. But it's good. It'll give you time in the kitchen to do other things, you know. You could have cleaned and put the pan away and knocked down another Sauvignon Blanc or gin and tonic. All right, I guess we're going to swish the salad up now, right? I think I've got a spoon and some of this lovely dressing. Always have a big enough bowl, and also try to get in the habit of add the dressing twice. See how dry that looks by the time I get done whipping this around a little bit. I do favor on this on the Caesar over-dressing a little bit.
Okay.
Most of the salads I don't like to do that, like the arugula gets wilted very quickly.
Oh, that's true.
But a lot of times Caesar salad, people, while they want the lettuce nice and all, it's, you know, what kind of bite did the dressing have, you know? So I like to overdress this a little bit. It seems like the romaine can stand up to it.
Hardier.
Right. So you see already we've got a lot of dressing on there, and I think by the time I get done, remember, do it twice. You know, I think you would have thought when we first started this that I didn't have nearly enough dressing. All right. Once again, we got a little pasta left over there in case we want to get back for seconds. And then we're going to make 2 plates of the Caesar salad. Guess we'll try a couple plates right here. Thanks.
Okay.
Put a little on there. You don't want to overdo it. Got to save room for Jell-O.
Oh, boy, that is delicious.
got a little salad working there.
So nice. Mm.
And then we're just going to garnish it with the pieces of chicken. Once again, I think this is particularly neat because the chicken's not smoking hot, although the seasoning is very hot on it, but yet it isn't something I just pulled out of the fridge, you know, that's all dried out. You can, you know it's was just done recently.
Mm.
And then you put a little, people like anchovies
Beautiful.
on the side here, or maybe put a little extra dressing out, and that's, and that sort of thing. And we could garnish this, maybe if I had a roasted pepper out here or something, but it looks pretty good. How about a few of these homemade croutons we have?
There you go.
I have these little French bread croutons. Maybe we'll pile them in the center instead of spreading them all around.
And I think you need a little touch of paprika.
You think so?
Right around the edges.
Around the
Don't you
edges?
think?
Yeah, okay, we'll do that. We'll toss that around. We need that extra color, right?
Just that little bit of extra color. Oh, isn't that nice?
Glad I thought of it. Yeah, a little extra color there works. All right, there we have it with to go with our linguine marinara. And of course, you can put any starch, rice, or anything else with it. But you got a little salad and chicken and pasta. I think that's a nice little Wednesday night fun dish.
One last dish here.
Yes, and we got a race.
One last pan.
And when I gather, Tim is telling me that get it moving.
Yep.
We were asked to do this again. It was a striped bass with a little garlic and balsamic vinegar and a few vegetables. And here we had a relative of mine say, could you please do it again? We didn't pick up on that. So we're going to try it quick while we have a few extra minutes. Got a pan getting hot here. Again, I'm going to finish this dish with butter. So I'm going to do the sauteing, I'm going to add a little cheaper oil in here, not that olive oil. It's going to be made with a stock that I made, a little fish stock, some balsamic vinegar, and garlic. And we are going to put the fish into flour, dredge it, and shake it off. Shake it, baby. And we're going to put it skin side down. There we go. All right, we brown the fillets. We cooked it most of the way on the first side, as we always do. Wish I had a little more sticky on the bottom there from the flour. It's just not working out that way. But we'll still have a nice sauce. And the color won't be a problem because the balsamic vinegar. And I've salt and peppered this stock for the show. Then I add our vegetables. Save the butter for last. We've got some artichokes. Some asparagus. I sliced them down a little bit. I didn't want to have a lot of fork and knife work. Some sun-dried tomatoes and some mushrooms. So we're just adding them right to the pan. You would add some garlic, some balsamic vinegar, and a fish stock or a clam juice. And we just happen to have that made up in this sauce over here. That's the sound when you're sauteing. That's the kind of sounds you want to hear. Loud noises. That means you're driving the bus, not the fillets. We want to get the fillets out of the pan, as quickly as possible. We don't want to boil them. I'm going to set them up nice right over here. And then we're going to reduce the sauce.
Great.
This butter seems larger on camera than it really is, okay? It looks like a pound of lard when it gets on the screen. I looked at it one night. My buddy Rudy told me, Danny, what are you doing? You're going to kill all of us. I said, it wasn't that big. So I'm going to put the lid on to help reduce this. And once it's getting right about there, once the larger bubbles are happening and stuff, we're going to toss the butter. All right? That's called a primary indicator. That we're about there. Once again, anybody can make it real loose, and anyone can make it really thick. It's that tweener that we're looking for. I used to call it the velveteen. And this butter is going to bring the dish together.
That has thickened it up considerably.
Right, and we want it. We serve them on a hot plate, and the plate loses a little temperature, and then the sauce gets a little thicker while it's right there on the plate. So We don't want to overdo it. Just garnish the top of the fish fillet with our vegetables, and there we have it. Don't have a name for the dish, but I'll have to come up with one sooner or later.
Well, folks, thanks again for joining me this evening. As we wrap up what we've done in Dan's Kitchen with Dan, we've done so much stuff today, haven't
Say the
we? We've cooked
least.
so much.
Holy
I mean, look
smokes.
at this. It looks like it's a party for like 8 people or something,
Yes.
doesn't it?
Yes.
Wow. So what did we do, Dan?
We did our little dinner for 2 with the blackened chicken Caesar salad and the linguine marinara side dishes.
That's right.
We have our little pizza with the shrimp, caramelized onions, roasted peppers, right? And we had a little time to stick in that striped bass with the balsamic vinegar garlic sauce and the melange of vegetables on top.
Looks beautiful. Well, folks, thanks again for joining us this evening on Cooking with Dan Leslie, and we will see you again next week.